Anta Niltulian Meldanin, and thank you once again for joining me. My name is Lord Aramil, and today we are going to start the walls encircling Narduhal. Now, to begin those walls, we are going to be taking what remains of the boulder home and turning it into the first external watchtower, as well as crafting the gatehouse. Now, with that in mind, let's get started. So this time I've learned a bit from my previous mistakes, and you'll note that I have made a fair amount of basically every block type that I'm planning on using, even quite a few extra. Now this won't last the entirety of the build, of course, but it should give us a nice head start. Now, unfortunately, this bit has to go. Pipeweed is a wonderful little cash crop in Middle-earth. There's no doubt about that. But we won't be growing it inside of any of our towers. Similarly, most of this, well, all of this eventually, will probably be shifted out, especially when I get my own room set up in Narduhal, which I should probably focus on next episode. Regardless, however, you'll note that I've filled in a lot of the boulder with Arnor brick, and just kind of building off of what nature has provided us. Now, this has made a nice little two-tier system, as it were. So, I think that area will likely stay more or less as it is now. But this area here, which will be the gate, will get built up. Now, the wall will be, let's see, this is a purely inner wall. So it's going to be probably 3 blocks wide. Now, the gatehouse, of course, will be wider than that. I'm going to have to move a lot of berry bushes and things. But that's okay. So, let's see. If the gate is 3, or excuse me, the wall is 3, then a gate of 6? Yeah. 6 blocks wide will be nice and definitely stand out well. Hello there, Thorondir. This brave ranger has stood guard. Well, all of these rangers have stood guard here for quite a while now without any sort of fortification. It's high time I gave them something with a bit of a view. Now, I don't want the wall to be too tall for the inner walls, but I also don't want it to be ridiculously short. So, and the reason why I don't want it to be too tall is because NPCs have a really wonky range. So I want NPCs to be actually useful. Is what it really boils down to. So I think the gatehouse being that tall, yeah, this will be more than enough to give a nice, commanding view of the road. Yeah, and it should also be low enough for the NPCs to still figure out that there are actually enemies coming. That's nice. Bless you. My cat sneezed. What did Venus find? Probably, hopefully next episode, I'm hoping to do, maybe not a LAN party so much as getting a couple of these people over at one time and us all recording at once. Now, I'll probably still be the only one actually recording the episode, but yeah, that's fine. But if Venus is off to the side, and I don't know, Teru and Ashenra are here also. Venus found a giant statue? Okay, we're going to take a really quick break. Because I'm really curious. So, adventure! At least long enough to see what this is. Alright. Holy shit. Where are we, even? Oh, we're in Rivendell. Okay. In memory of Robram 58. Huh. Robram is the owner of the whole server, so. Nope. Okay. Interesting, though. That's really cool. Huh. Alright. But luckily I have my home set right here. Now, this gate and inner wall would be one of the first big constructions Nardu would have undertaken after we have, established ourselves in the castle itself. Oh yeah, that's nice. I rather like that lining up. The wall probably needs some heightening as it goes up that hill, but oh well. How many blocks is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, that's only 5 blocks high. Huh. Okay. That's fine for right now, at least. Sometimes it's important just to put something down so you have something to work with. Oh no, Teru. Rip. Yes, Luke. Meow.
Give you a little bit more food. Maybe that'll shut you up.
Alright, so you guys don't have to listen to the cat. We're going to switch into silent build mode. Alright. Now here we have the basic idea of the gatehouse complete. We've got 2 guards on either side. Well, 1 guard on either side, 2 in total. And they will hopefully shoot at anybody who passes through that we don't want to enter Narduhal. Similar to our castle gatehouse, we'll have 2 sections of the gate, the door and the portcullis. Though in this specific instance, we aren't quite as raised up. Just let them roam a little bit more. Now all of our archways still have to be square, more or less, because unfortunately the gate blocks won't tessellate into one of these arches. But a 3x3 will work nicely. Now, here's a very important part, just carving it out so that we can actually access this lower part of the gate. Marvelous. Now, after a quick run back to all of our crafting tables, I decided to take these Arnorian pillars and use them as kind of this capstone on the lower level. A bit like how you might have molding around a wall, like in your house. Just repeating on the back side with some slight adjustment. There we go. Yes. Perfect. Now we want this building to still look very large and impressive, and it will, don't worry. But this, of course, is not our main gate, big quotation marks. Our main gate will be significantly further out. Well, we'll have 2, really. There will be one directly south of us now, and the other, perhaps even more main gate, will be what Ashenra is working on, and protected by its own castle, Dragon Keep. Here you see I've made space for 2 murder holes. Yay, murder. And we bring the whole thing up 1 block. Yes, there we go. Now I'm using gravel here as wall filler, and this is reasonably historically accurate. You probably would use, I think, dirt historically, but using gravel is preferred in Minecraft. At least I prefer to use it in Minecraft. because that means that anytime someone might break into your wall and they try to dig through the gravel, well, first they have to change tools, what they're using, from pickaxe to shovel. Excuse me. So they'd have to change from pickaxe to shovel, and then they have to continue to dig through your wall, just as more pieces keep falling down. Uh, it also helps if they're using explosives. So if they blow up a chunk of your wall, well, it's okay because more wall falls in to fill the gap. Oh, bugger. Anyways, after successfully taking care of another invasion, decided to do just a little bit of beautification. Boom. Always have fun with lighting. Now, it is an elven structure, uh, because I am. So we want to keep a level of openness that you might not see in, say, a Gondorian or even Arnorian structure. And this is both uh, just part of the elven aesthetic, as well as just, you know, giving you plenty of vantage points to shoot from. Form and function. Very important. Now, the problem, of course, is that here we've got an asymmetric design, really. Just because one end of our structure is, well, flat and the other is rounded slightly. But we're going to work with it and try to make it look good anyways. And I think we do a reasonably good job. There we go. Let's hollow out the boulder a little bit more. Make a second level. We'll get back to that next episode. Go centralize the entrance. I am a fan of using stairway blocks to make archways. I think it looks much better, but that's me, personally. Now I wanted the back part of the gatehouse to look different from the front. And you'll see we can achieve that pretty easily overall. Especially because the back portion faces north. And one thing, if you've ever lived in a northern climate, you don't want those heavy winds coming at you at any point, really. So, while a nice southerly wind might feel good, let's block off the northern winds as much as we can. Here we're getting the basics of the roof out. Good, good, good. Realize that I could probably just replace those and it'd look nicer. Returning, it's now time to put the roof on the front half. Now, Narduhal is once again in a rather northern climb, so most of our roofs should be reasonably sloped. the Gwaith and the rickety stool are probably a little too flat for this climate. And the reason behind that is that you don't want snow piling up too much on your roof, or else it'll collapse. And that's a lot of real world physics, far more than what would be expected in a Minecraft game, but especially one where the weather does not change. But I think it's important to showcase just a little bit of realism here and there. I think it makes the build look better, personally. That's just me. If you enjoy building your castles with, all of it just gently balanced on a single block, well, then you can do that. It's a game and it's a creativity tool. So you do you. Now here I'm pulling out what we did with the Nardu gate. Again, having a bit of decoration up on top, helping to break up the monotony. And I think it looks really good. So again, to help break up the monotony of all the Arnorian brick. Here on the sides, we have High Elven brick to really shake it up and give the color palette, well, it's still just, gray. At least it's a different shade of gray. I don't know how many times I ran back and forth to these crafting tables. But I edited out quite a few already. So, yeah. Alright. Boop, boop. There we go. Nice little bit of rounding there. Bring the pillars on up. And from here, it's just bringing the archway down. And occasionally falling off. And more pillars are needed. I actually used several stacks more of pillar than I had expected to during this build. So it's just how it goes, though. Sometimes when you start building something, the original idea kind of gets swept away once you get really into it. And that's especially true if you're trying to build with a location. So, as opposed to just completely terraforming an area. Had to make sure that I had it all on the same level, because that can be a pain. There we go. Nice, closed off. And now we get into the wall building. If I don't have too many technical difficulties like I just did. Sorry for the weird cut, because my game actually froze. So when I got back, I decided to fill in these murder holes really quick. And I didn't have enough gate blocks to do anything that I wanted with the gate just yet, so that'll come in later. Added in a dwarven door. Oh. And it's always nice to have another person's opinions on the build, like I've mentioned before. Now, once again, to break up some of the monotony, we include High Elven stairs and Arnorian pillars for our crenellations. And that'll be true throughout at least the inner walls. Once we get to the exterior walls, we might shake things up a bit more. Grab some extra gravel. It's really funny how quickly you can run out of something like gravel, which is really annoying because so often I just throw it away. But now I'm not. Now there, I accidentally put down High Elven, and I kind of like that more. So we have this stripe of High Elven going along the middle. Just round that off. And it's really difficult to make a castle wall change height gracefully. You could conceivably just continue adding up block by block, but I feel like that still doesn't look great. So I prefer to work in these kind of tiered levels. Now here I noticed it was getting pretty dark, so we don't want orcs spawning on top of our walls, naturally. So every other crenellation, we had it popping up. Now here we have the final product, and I'm just going to quickly go through here and show it all off. In addition to those lights and the crenellations, we have studded it with high elven pillars. It helps to break up the monotony, along with high elven steps down near the bottom. I also did the eastern side, and I cut that all out because it's really repetitive. I gotta say, there's really no joy to be found watching me fumble through that several times. We did add this nice little bit here on the side. And it really has this lovely view, I gotta say. Off in the distance with Venus's tree tower and Teru's mansion. The inner walls of Narduhal. Now we've got a nice start going. I'll do more off camera between episodes. Get the bits that aren't really impressive done first. Next episode, we are going to be tackling the conversion of the Boulder home into a full tower now, and I guess that means that I probably need to think about where I'm going to put my bedroom, because I'm about to lose a fair amount of space. But all things said and done, I hope you all enjoyed this episode. I know that the recording for this took quite a while, so hopefully it's not too long of an episode. I don't want to split it into multiple parts, that's for sure. But if you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. And until we meet again, dear friends, farewell.